What happened to the days when love was unshakable? When vows weren't just words spoken in a moment of passion, but promises sealed for a lifetime? Today we see broken homes, shattered dreams, and children growing up without the warmth of a united family. But does it have to be this way? Marriage is one of the most profound and sacred commitments a person can make. It is a promise to stand by another, not just in times of joy and ease, but in the midst of trials and hardship. Yet, in today's world, where convenience often outweighs commitment, the sacred nature of marriage is being challenged. Many enter into it with excitement, only to find themselves disillusioned when difficulties arise. However, true love is not based on fleeting emotions. It is built upon trust, dedication, and an unwavering commitment that withstands the storms of life. Commitment in marriage is not just about staying together. It is about choosing each other every single day, even when the feelings of love wane and challenges arise. Feelings are temporary, but commitment is an act of the will. It is the glue that holds two people together when emotions fluctuate. Love is not merely an emotion, but an action, a choice to be patient, to be kind, to be selfless, even when it is difficult. In every relationship, disagreements and disappointments will come, but it is the depth of commitment that determines whether a marriage will thrive or fall apart. When two people commit to each other wholeheartedly, they create a foundation that cannot be easily shaken. Trust is another pillar that sustains commitment. Without trust, a relationship is built on shaky ground, vulnerable to doubt and fear. Trust is not merely given, it is earned and nurtured through honesty, transparency, and integrity. It grows when both partners remain true to their word, when they prioritize their relationship, and when they prove through their actions that they are dependable. In a world filled with distractions and temptations, it takes intentional effort to guard a marriage and protect the sacred bond of trust. When both individuals remain faithful to their vows, trust deepens, creating a sense of security and emotional safety. Unwavering commitment also means weathering the storms of life together. Every marriage will face hardships, financial struggles, health challenges, misunderstandings, and personal disappointments. Some seasons will be filled with laughter and joy, while others will be marked by pain and uncertainty. But true commitment does not waver in the face of adversity. Instead of seeking an escape, a committed couple faces challenges hand in hand, knowing that perseverance strengthens their bond. Difficult times become opportunities to grow together, to learn patience, and to deepen their love for one another. One of the greatest threats to commitment in modern relationships is the culture of instant gratification. Society promotes the idea that if something no longer serves one's immediate happiness, it should be discarded. Marriages are abandoned because the initial excitement fades, and instead of working through difficulties, many choose the easier path of separation. However, the strongest marriages are those that endure hardships and emerge stronger on the other side. A lifelong commitment is not about feeling in love every moment, but about choosing love even when it requires sacrifice and effort. Another vital aspect of commitment is selflessness. A marriage thrives when both individuals put the needs of their partner before their own. Selfishness destroys relationships, but when love is expressed through acts of kindness, service, and consideration, it fosters deeper connection and mutual respect. True commitment means giving without expecting something in return, understanding that a lasting marriage is built on the principle of mutual care and sacrifice. Communication plays an essential role in sustaining commitment. When couples communicate openly and honestly, they prevent resentment from taking root. Many relationships crumble because issues are left unresolved, leading to bitterness and emotional distance. Commitment involves actively listening, expressing feelings with honesty, and working through disagreements with patience and understanding. Conflict is inevitable, but it does not have to lead to separation. When two people are committed to their relationship, they find solutions rather than allowing differences to divide them. Commitment also requires continual investment. Love must be nurtured through time, attention, and shared experiences. Many couples grow apart not because of major conflicts, but because they stop prioritizing their relationship. They become consumed by careers, responsibilities, and personal pursuits, forgetting to nurture the bond they once cherished. Strong marriages require intentionality, regular moments of connection, words of affirmation, and gestures that remind one another of their love and appreciation. Faithfulness in marriage is more than just physical loyalty. It is emotional and mental dedication to one another. It means safeguarding the relationship from external influences that threaten its integrity. It is about being fully present, honoring one's spouse in both words and actions, and ensuring that nothing and no one takes priority over the marriage covenant. A committed couple stands together, facing the world as a united force, choosing each other every day despite the challenges they encounter. Ultimately, the power of commitment transforms a marriage into something unbreakable. It strengthens love, deepens trust, and creates a lasting legacy. A marriage built on unwavering commitment does not just survive, it thrives, becoming a source of joy, security, and inspiration for generations to come. Faith and forgiveness are the cornerstones of any lasting relationship. No marriage is perfect, no relationship is without its struggles, and no two people can walk through life together without, at some point, hurting one another. It is in these moments of difficulty that faith and forgiveness become essential. Faith is the belief that love is worth fighting for, even when circumstances seem impossible. Forgiveness is the willingness to let go of pain and resentment in order to restore what has been broken. Together they create a bond that can withstand any storm, allowing love to heal, grow, and endure. Every relationship is tested by misunderstandings, mistakes, and moments of weakness. People are imperfect, prone to selfishness, impatience, and error. It is easy to focus on the faults of a spouse, to dwell on disappointments, and to allow bitterness to take root. But faith calls for a different perspective, one that sees beyond the present struggles to the deeper purpose of the relationship. Faith is the belief that love is not defined by a single moment of pain, but by the journey of two people choosing each other despite their flaws. When couples hold on to faith, they find the strength to overcome obstacles together, rather than allowing those obstacles to divide them. Forgiveness is an act of choice, not a feeling. It does not mean ignoring wrongdoing or pretending that pain does not exist. Instead, it means acknowledging the hurt, choosing to release it, and deciding to move forward. Holding on to resentment only deepens wounds and builds walls between people who are meant to walk in unity. Many relationships fall apart not because of a single mistake, but because of the inability to forgive. When forgiveness is absent, love becomes buried under layers of bitterness, and even the strongest relationships begin to crumble. However, when forgiveness is extended, it brings freedom from anger, freedom from pain, and freedom to love fully once again. Faith provides the foundation for forgiveness. When trust is broken, when words are spoken in anger, when actions cause harm, it is faith that reminds couples that their love is worth restoring. Faith says, this is not the end of our story. It gives hope in moments of darkness and reminds couples of the vows they made to stand together through every trial. Love is not about never failing, it is about choosing to repair what is broken. Faith encourages people to look beyond temporary hardships and believe in the power of renewal. Forgiveness requires humility. Pride resists reconciliation, insisting that justice must be served, that the other person must suffer for their mistakes. But love is not about keeping score. True love does not seek revenge but restoration. It takes humility to admit wrongs, to seek forgiveness, and to extend grace to a partner who has fallen short. A heart that forgives is a heart that understands its own imperfections. Just as no one desires to be defined by their worst moments, no one should define their spouse by a single failure. Trust, once broken, takes time to rebuild, and forgiveness is the first step in that process. It does not erase the past, but it does create a path forward. It allows for healing conversations, for renewed connection, and for a love that has been tested and strengthened. A relationship that has gone through hardship and emerged on the other side is often stronger than one that has never faced trials at all. The deepest bonds are formed not in moments of perfection, but in the decision to stand together in imperfection. 3. Faith and forgiveness are not just necessary in moments of great failure, but in everyday life. Small frustrations, unkind words, forgotten promises, these minor offenses, if not addressed with grace, can build into major divisions. When couples practice daily forgiveness, they create an atmosphere of love and understanding. They recognize that their partner is not their enemy, that both are learning, growing, and trying to navigate life together. Forgiveness becomes a habit, a constant renewal of love that strengthens the relationship over time. There will always be moments of doubt, times when love feels distant and conflict seems unresolvable. But faith reminds couples that they are not alone, that love is bigger than any one challenge, and that healing is possible. It gives the courage to keep going, to fight for love when it would be easier to walk away. It inspires patience, endurance, and the belief that reconciliation is always within reach. Love that lasts is not love that has never been tested, but love that has overcome again and again. The beauty of faith and forgiveness is that they do not just heal individual moments of pain, they transform entire relationships. They turn brokenness into strength, division into unity, and resentment into deeper love. They remind couples that love is not about perfection, but about perseverance. They create a foundation that cannot be shaken, a love that endures through all seasons of life. Communication is the foundation of any successful marriage, serving as the lifeline that keeps love, trust, and connection alive. Without honest and heartfelt conversations, misunderstandings arise, resentment builds, and emotional distance grows. A strong marriage is not built on grand gestures or fleeting moments of happiness, but on the daily exchanges of words, thoughts, and emotions that bring clarity, understanding, and unity between two people. When communication thrives, love deepens, trust strengthens, and a couple moves forward together in harmony. However, when communication breaks down, even the strongest relationships begin to suffer, leading to frustration, loneliness, and division. At the heart of good communication is the willingness to be open and vulnerable. Marriage requires a level of honesty that goes beyond surface conversations about daily routines and responsibilities. It is about sharing hopes, fears, dreams, and struggles without fear of judgment. Many couples fall into the trap of assuming that their spouse knows what they are thinking or feeling, but the reality is that no one can read minds. Silence is not understanding, and unspoken emotions do not simply disappear. In fact, they often turn into deeper wounds that manifest in frustration or distance. When couples make the effort to express their thoughts openly, they create a safe space for love and connection to grow. Listening is just as important as speaking. True communication is not about winning an argument or proving a point, but about understanding the other person's heart. Many times, people listen not to understand, but to respond. They are formulating their next argument rather than truly hearing what their partner is saying. This leads to defensiveness and frustration, preventing real connection. A healthy marriage requires the ability to listen with patience, empathy, and the genuine desire to see things from the other person's perspective. When a husband or wife feels heard, they feel valued, and when they feel valued, love is strengthened. Conflict is inevitable in marriage, but how it is handled determines the health of the relationship. Many arguments escalate not because of the issue itself, but because of how the issue is communicated. Harsh words, criticism, and defensiveness push a couple further apart, while gentle words, understanding, and compromise bring them closer together. Disagreements do not have to be battles, they can be opportunities for growth. When couples learn to communicate their frustrations in a way that is respectful and solution-focused, they strengthen their bond rather than damage it. A successful marriage is not one without conflict, but one where conflict leads to deeper understanding instead of division. 0.4. Another challenge in communication is the tendency to avoid difficult conversations. It is easier to ignore problems, suppress feelings, and pretend that everything is fine rather than confront uncomfortable truths. However, avoiding issues does not make them disappear. It only allows them to grow in the background, eventually resurfacing in ways that cause more damage. The strongest marriages are those where both partners have the courage to address challenges head-on, not with anger or blame, but with the sincere desire to work through them together. Difficult conversations, when handled with love and patience, lead to greater intimacy and a stronger emotional connection. Consistency is key in communication. Many couples make the mistake of only engaging in meaningful conversations during times of crisis, but true connection is built in everyday moments. Checking in with each other, expressing appreciation, sharing thoughts about the day. These small interactions create a foundation of trust and love. Marriage is not just about grand declarations of love. It is about the daily affirmations that remind a spouse that they are seen, heard, and valued. A simple "I love you, how was your day?" or "I appreciate you" can make a significant difference in keeping a relationship strong. Technology and modern distractions also pose challenges to communication in marriage. In today's fast-paced world, it is easy for couples to be physically present but emotionally disconnected, with conversations being replaced by screens and social media. Quality time is essential for communication to flourish. Setting aside moments to talk without distractions, whether during dinner, before bed, or on a walk, creates opportunities for deeper connection. A marriage that prioritizes meaningful conversations over digital noise is one that will continue to grow in love and unity. Ultimately, communication is what keeps a marriage alive. It is the bridge that connects two hearts, the tool that resolves conflicts, and the foundation that sustains love over time. When couples commit to speaking with honesty, listening with empathy, and engaging in meaningful conversations daily, they build a relationship that is not only strong, but also filled with joy, understanding, and unwavering unity. Every marriage, no matter how strong or deeply rooted in love, will face trials. Life is unpredictable, filled with challenges that test the strength of a relationship. Financial struggles, health crises, loss, misunderstandings, and external pressures can shake even the most solid foundation. However, the true measure of a marriage is not whether it avoids hardships, but how a couple chooses to face them. When two people stand together, hand in hand, with faith and perseverance, they can weather any storm. The struggles that arise do not have to break a marriage. Instead, they can deepen the bond, strengthen trust, and create an unshakable foundation of love. One of the greatest lessons in marriage is understanding that trials are not meant to be faced alone. A husband and wife are partners, meant to lift each other up when difficulties arise. When burdens are shared, they become lighter. However, when one person withdraws or tries to handle struggles in isolation, it creates distance and resentment. A strong marriage is built on the willingness to stand together, to support one another emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. There will be moments of doubt, frustration, and exhaustion, but choosing to face these difficulties together rather than apart strengthens the connection between two people. Perseverance in marriage means refusing to give up when things become difficult. In a world that often promotes an easy way out, where divorce is seen as a quick solution rather than a last resort, true commitment is rare, yet love that endures is love that has been tested and proven. It is easy to love when life is smooth, when laughter comes effortlessly, and when happiness fills the air. But real love is forged in the fire of adversity, when patience is tested, when sacrifices must be made, and when both partners must choose to hold on rather than walk away. Love is not just a feeling, it is a decision to stay, to fight for the relationship, and to build something lasting despite the challenges. Faith plays a crucial role in overcoming trials. When difficulties arise, it is easy to lose hope, to feel overwhelmed by circumstances beyond control. Faith provides the strength to keep going, even when the path is unclear. It reminds a couple that they are not alone in their struggles, that there is a greater purpose in their journey, and that every storm eventually passes. Faith fosters patience, kindness, and the ability to see beyond the immediate hardship to the possibility of growth and renewal. It instills the belief that healing, restoration, and brighter days are always ahead. Trials in marriage also require humility and understanding. Difficult times can bring out the worst in people. Stress can lead to impatience, fear can cause defensiveness, and exhaustion can create emotional distance. In these moments, it is crucial to extend grace to one another. Words spoken in frustration can wound deeply, but words spoken with love can heal even the most painful wounds. Choosing to listen, to empathize, and to respond with kindness instead of anger can turn moments of conflict into opportunities for greater connection. When both partners commit to understanding rather than blaming, to encouraging rather than criticizing, they build a relationship that is not only resilient, but also filled with compassion and mutual respect. Many of the strongest marriages are those that have endured the most difficult trials. Hardships have a way of revealing the depth of a couple's love and commitment. They force couples to confront their weaknesses, to communicate more openly, and to grow together in ways that ease and comfort never could. Adversity teaches patience, builds character, and solidifies trust. A marriage that has weathered storms is one that carries a deeper appreciation for the good times and a greater ability to withstand future challenges. In every trial, there is an opportunity to grow closer rather than drift apart. Struggles can either divide or unite depending on how they are approached. When a couple makes the conscious choice to stand together, to support one another without condition, and to believe in the strength of their love, they emerge from trials not just intact, but stronger than before. They build a foundation that cannot be easily shaken, a love that is resilient, and a partnership that is unbreakable. Family and community play a vital role in the strength and success of a marriage. While love and commitment between two people are essential, the environment surrounding them can either uplift or weaken their relationship. A supportive family and a strong community provide encouragement, guidance, and stability, helping couples navigate the inevitable challenges of marriage. No relationship exists in isolation, and the presence of positive influences can make the difference between overcoming struggles together or feeling overwhelmed and alone. In times of difficulty, couples often need reassurance that they are not alone in their struggles. Family members who offer wisdom, understanding, and practical support can be a source of great comfort. Parents, siblings, and close relatives who have experienced similar challenges can provide valuable insights and remind couples that hardships are a normal part of any marriage. Instead of encouraging separation when difficulties arise, a strong family support system fosters resilience and problem solving, helping couples work through their issues rather than giving up. Community also plays a crucial role in sustaining a healthy marriage. Friendships with like-minded couples who share similar values can provide encouragement and accountability. When surrounded by others who believe in the importance of commitment, love, and perseverance, couples are more likely to remain steadfast in their relationship. A strong community offers not only companionship, but also practical guidance, shared experiences, and emotional support. Whether through faith-based groups, social circles, or mentorship programs, being part of a supportive network strengthens the foundation of a marriage. One of the greatest benefits of a supportive environment is the ability to gain perspective. When facing challenges, it is easy for couples to become consumed by their own emotions and lose sight of the bigger picture. Wise counsel from trusted family members or mentors can provide clarity, helping couples approach their struggles with patience and understanding rather than frustration and hopelessness. Encouragement from those who have walked the same path reminds couples that hardships are temporary and that with effort and dedication, they can emerge stronger. Family and community also help protect a marriage from external pressures. In today's fast-paced world, couples face stress from financial burdens, career demands, and societal expectations. Without a strong support system, these pressures can create tension and distance between partners. However, when surrounded by those who genuinely care, couples receive the emotional and practical help needed to manage these challenges. Whether through childcare assistance, a network error occurred, please check your connection and try again. If this issue persists, please contact us through our help center at helpopenai.com. Divorce has a profound impact on children, shaping their emotional well-being, worldview, and future relationships. When a marriage falls apart, the effects extend far beyond the couple. They ripple through the lives of their children, leaving lasting impressions on their hearts and minds. Children look to their parents as their first example of love, commitment, and stability. When that foundation is shaken, they often struggle with feelings of insecurity, confusion, and even guilt. Protecting the next generation means recognizing that strong marriages are not just about the present, but about building a legacy that allows children to grow up in a stable and loving environment. Children thrive in an atmosphere of security. They find comfort in knowing that their parents are committed to each other and to the family unit. When parents work through difficulties instead of giving up, they teach their children resilience, problem solving, and the true meaning of commitment. On the other hand, when a marriage dissolves, children often experience emotional distress, struggling with questions they may not fully understand. They may internalize blame, believing that they somehow caused the separation. Feelings of abandonment, loss, and instability can linger for years, affecting their self-esteem and their ability to trust others in the future. 0.6. Beyond emotional struggles, divorce can also impact a child's future relationships. When children grow up witnessing a broken marriage, they may develop fears about love and commitment, leading to challenges in their own relationships later in life. They may either avoid deep emotional connections out of fear of being hurt, or repeat unhealthy patterns they observed growing up. A strong marriage, however, sets a different example. It teaches children that love requires effort, patience, and perseverance. It shows them that challenges can be overcome and that lasting love is possible. The effects of divorce extend beyond the home and into every aspect of a child's life. Academic performance, social relationships, and emotional stability can all be affected by the stress and uncertainty that divorce brings. Many children of divorced parents experience difficulty concentrating in school, struggle with behavioral issues, or develop anxiety and depression. The loss of a united home environment disrupts their sense of normalcy, making it harder for them to feel secure and confident in their own lives. By prioritizing strong marriages, couples not only invest in their own happiness, but also in the well-being of their children and future generations. A loving, stable home provides children with the emotional and psychological security they need to grow into confident and well-adjusted adults. It allows them to witness healthy communication, problem-solving, and mutual respect, shaping their understanding of relationships in a positive way. The choices made within a marriage today will influence the lives of children tomorrow. Strengthening marriages means protecting the next generation from unnecessary pain and uncertainty. It means creating an environment where love is demonstrated daily, where challenges are faced together, and where children can grow up with the confidence that their home is a place of stability and unwavering love. Marriage is one of the most sacred and significant relationships in life, and its strength determines not only the happiness of a couple, but also the well-being of future generations. A successful marriage is not built on fleeting emotions, but on commitment, faith, communication, perseverance, and the support of family and community. Every marriage will face challenges, but those who choose to stand together, forgive, and grow through adversity will find that their love only deepens with time. When couples prioritize their relationship, they create a stable foundation for their children, teaching them by example what it means to love, sacrifice, and remain steadfast. Divorce may seem like an easy escape from difficulties, but its consequences often leave lasting scars, especially on children who depend on their parents for security. By investing in strong marriages, couples protect not only their own happiness, but also the future of their families and society as a whole. A thriving marriage requires daily effort, open communication, and a commitment to working through problems rather than giving up. It is supported by faith, strengthened by perseverance, and enriched by the encouragement of loved ones. When couples embrace these principles, they not only build a love that lasts a lifetime, but also leave behind a legacy of strength, stability, and hope for the generations that follow.